Yesterday, Jim Cramer warns everybody it's not too late to get out of anything related to crypto. Gala, from its December low just over 1 week ago, is up over 120%. Alliance Block ALBT is up over 31% on the day. Zilliqa from its December low is up over 40%. We have DAG up from its December low up about 47%. And we have other altcoins such as Fetch AI along with Kilt that have both gone over 3x since their recent low. Let's kick it off. What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody's doing well. Links are in the video description. Be sure to like and sub, and be sure to stick around because this video is going to be jam-packed. Okay, so as I referenced in the beginning of this video, we have a few alts that are finally starting to do any type of corrective retracement after some of which have crashed over 90%. So it's great to see signs of life in this market, some of which are finally rebounding. And we can see that Fetch AI is one of the alts that has actually gone wick to wick since its November low over a 3x return. Now, there's been a lot of buzz related to artificial intelligence and machine learning specifically because of this recent ChatGPT bot. So you can ask how to explain quantum computing in simple terms or explain it to a 5-year-old, and it has the ability to explain things perfectly, and this is going to automate so many things. And on coinmarketcap.com, we can actually go to cryptocurrencies and then go down to categories. And we can see a variety of cryptocurrency sectors, and we can see artificial intelligence and big data. So now we can see any other project that potentially has an AI or a big data tag within its listing. We can sort this by the 7-day and see that a variety of projects have done pretty well. Now, bear in mind that some of these could be microcaps or cash grabs, so please be careful and always do your own research. We have Ocean Protocol, we have Alliance Block, we have Singularity Net. And so this reminds me of another sector that could do very well in the future. Now, I see some estimates and I still think that it's kind of conservative for the future. And if we think about, 5 to 10 years ago, the predictions for voice and automation. So, of course, you can talk to your car, you can talk to your Tesla, you can talk to Alexa or your Google Home. And now with machine learning and artificial intelligence, we're basically going to have the ability in the future to program a video game via voice. You could basically, via voice, ask or command a basic video game of a character walking around, and you could say, hey, via voice, change the color of the grass to green. And you could basically set all the basic parameters of a video game. And then you can actually copy that code base, you could sell it, you could whitelist it, or even use it as a foundation. And it's even weirder to think related to not just voice, but now potentially what Musk is working on with different types of neural implants. Instead of commanding things via voice, you could potentially have an AI interface and then command things via thought. So it's definitely wild. I'm not interested to be a cyborg by any means. I mean, technically, we already live most of our life looking at a phone or on Twitter anyway, so we are in virtual reality for the most part. But just sharing that, and I know I'm going to get some, comments about Mark of the Beast and things like that. But let's just hope that crypto moons and I will just disappear, have a house in the mountains, and surf all day. So it's pretty crazy to imagine where the future is going. I know it can be, terrifying or equally exciting. And Fetch AI has been around for a while. It did very well during the last cycle. We can see zooming out all the way. Let me full screen this. We can see during March 2020 was actually under 1 cent, and during the bull run or the peak wicking over $1. That's over a 100x return. And we can see from its all-time high price all the way to its low, we were down almost 96%. And since then, doing over a 3x return from the low. So you better believe I'm looking at a variety of altcoins with the hopes that we can get some retracements for a variety of alts that are going sideways or have just been dumping for months. We can see Casper consolidating pretty tight. So I'd love to see HBAR make a move. I'd love to see Algorand make a strong recovery. I'd love to see XRP obviously get that pop we can see. And we've been holding this support zone of 30 cents for quite some time. And looking at the XRP price chart versus the US dollar on the 3-day time frame, I just drew this basic trend line and we can see multiple points of hitting this trend line, even on the bottom of this range at 30.5 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple times hitting. So what's interesting and exciting about this triangle is coming up in just a couple more months, this triangle will be 2 years old. And as the adage goes, the longer the base, the higher in space. So I'm personally hoping that we can hold this 30-cent level for XRP and get this huge pop out of this triangle and officially break out. We have gaps at 17 cents and I believe around 22 cents as well. And what's interesting to note is we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple points of touching. And per a trend line or a support and resistance zone, a common analogy is a brick wall. If you have a hammer and you're hitting a brick wall, you might not break through it the first time. But after multiple times of hitting it, there's a higher probability that you're going to break through the next time. So each time, whether we're talking about this lower bound or this trend line for the triangle, there's a higher probability the next time we actually face this trend line that we could in fact break out. And as you can see, this has been respected for coming up on 2 years. So I know everybody is unbelievably bearish after a rough year, almost 2 years. But if we get necessary buy volume, maybe there's positive news with the Ripple lawsuit. When XRP challenges this trend again, I'm hoping for a massive breakout. And we do have gaps over $1 for XRP. Same thing for HBAR. I'm just hoping we don't actually go all the way down this descending channel. I hope that Bitcoin gets the show on the road. I don't want to go to 1114K. I'll make the most of it and I'll still be here, but we have two options. We're either going to have a very prolonged bear market. It will be the ultimate shakeout. All of the people that believe in their projects will give up out of frustration and impatience. But I also think a lot of people have already left the market out of frustration. I think we're due sooner than later for a big retracement. There's a variety of altcoins that are down 90% plus. We can compare crashing structures to 2018, 2019, 2020. Eventually, we find our bottom. And whether or not some of these altcoins go and challenge their previous all-time high price or just get a 2 to 3x type of retracement from these lows, I'm ready to get this show on the road. Okay, also, we're having Bitcoin starting to wake up here on the daily time frame, finally breaking over 17,000 yet again. We can see consolidating sideways and finally getting a little buy volume to push through. So of course we're seeing alts like Gala pop over 100%, which is great to see. And some are also starting to wake up, like API3 right here, back up to $1.19. We also have Algo almost hitting 20 cents yet again. And we can see how tight Alliance Block was actually coiling up really tight in this range, and then finally the breakout. And I'm hoping that Bitcoin can climb higher from here. Now we have Crypto Investor, great dude as well, and he actually highlighted Alliance Block, and he shared January 6th, so just a couple days ago, emphasizing expect volatility soon. We can see high buy volume coming in right there at the beginning of the year, tightly pinched Bollinger Band, and then also price action just below the 50-period moving average. So you can see he was sharing at about 4.3 cents and probably a little bit before that as well, and we can see that we actually got that push all the way up to just shy of 6 cents. We can see that Crypto Investor was on it. Great call, 33% for ALBT. And I took this poll the other day. Hey, Crypto Twitter, what is next for Bitcoin? And we were sitting at about 16,900. What's next? 20,000 or 14,000? We can see the majority were bearish. 57% actually said we'll hit 14K next. And over 1,500 people voted. Okay, next up, so since we have the FLR token distribution event that will actually be taking place in T-minus 24 hours, we can see going to flarepedia.com/TDE, token distribution event. So if you go to livecoinwatch.com and actually type in the ticker FLR, you can see on Bitrue, they have an IOU at about 44 cents. So I don't own any FLR IOUs on Bitrue. Of course, when it came out, I wish I did own a bunch because it absolutely skyrocketed. But right now, I think that's just super risky, so please be safe. And I'm curious at what price the FLR tokens will actually launch at. I did see the certain amount of supply that will be in circulation initially, and then just considering what exchanges are getting and who's self-custodied, and trying to find the exact amount is pretty tricky, so I'm actually going to wait a couple weeks to try to actually get some better metrics for it. But I also wanted to take a poll. What are you doing when you get your FLR? For those of us that actually participated in the snapshot back in December 2020, we can see that 33% say that they're going to be selling their FLR immediately. We have about 66%, the majority, holding to delegate for passive income. And I could see it go either way, guys. I do believe in the future of these ecosystems, but during a bear market, there's going to be a lot to prove. So I'm curious about the APY for those that delegate, and then of course get the remaining FLR tokens, rewarding those that actually contribute to the ecosystem. So it could be super profitable if the FLR token does well long term and the price goes up. It could be massive, I know that. They're bridged to a variety of ecosystems, Algorand, Litecoin, Doge, the XRP ledger. So the potential is there, especially if Bitcoin starts waking up and the market gets some additional volume, because right now liquidity, in my opinion, is drying up. So for anybody wishing to hold and wrap it and delegate for passive income, contribute, and keep your eyes on the long term, I'm with you. But for anybody that's impatient, or maybe you actually just need the liquidity and you want the cash after waiting over 2 years and you want to sell your FLR immediately, that's up to you. So I think everybody should just do what's best for them in their current situation. If you believe in FLR long term and you want to take that bet, just make sure you understand the risk and reward, and that's up to you. And for anybody that just says, I want to sell immediately, I'm not really going to participate in FLR, I get it. But I'm personally wishing for FLR to do very well. And I was doing a mental exercise earlier, so keep in mind, this is not FUD, this is just one guy spitting his opinion. I don't know the exact price that the FLR token will actually launch at, I don't know how much volume, I don't know what type of volatility we could see, so this is complete speculation. So let's say I self-custodied some tokens and I finally get my FLR in my wallet and the FLR price is at 5 cents. Now let's say that I have 10,000 FLR tokens at 5 cents, and I'm just using the SGB Songbird chart as an example. So if I had 10,000 FLR tokens at 5 cents, that's about $500 US. So I could wrap that and delegate it for passive income. I could also get bigger flare distributions in the future in the months ahead. It could be super valuable, especially if the network is adopted and the token price instead of 5 cents goes to 20 cents, 50 cents, a couple dollars plus. So the potential is completely there if they get adoption and all goes well. But knowing crypto projects, especially during a bear market, there's volatility. There's maybe huge crazy pumps of speculation, but then also massive dumps. So I've also entertained, let's just say that FLR all of a sudden after 5 cents dumps 80% down to 1 cent. Hypothetically, if I got my $500 and actually sold it right away when I got my FLR at 5 cents, and then I tried to buy back or set a limit buy at a lower level at 1 cent after an 80% crash, and these are arbitrary examples, but selling my 10,000 FLR tokens at launch, I have $500. If I set a limit buy and I was able to, and I was lucky enough to buy after a huge crash, at 1 cent, for example, instead of 10,000 FLR tokens, that would actually be 50,000 FLR. So with this example, I would actually 5x my FLR holdings. And there's so many variables, guys. This is just a mental exercise I'm entertaining to think, what is my best bet? Is it to basically wrap and delegate my FLR, get some APY, and then also get further distributions of the remaining tokens? Or am I better off selling if there's ample liquidity and just trying to buy back? And if I could, 2x, 3x, 5x my holdings, would that be better off than actually holding FLR long term? In my opinion, it's a complete coin flip and only time will tell. I could see either situation work out very well. Okay, so overall, guys, be sure to tune into next video. There's going to be tons of information related to XRP, HBAR, Algo, and Casper. I just wanted to cover FLR today since the distribution is coming up very quickly. And what I want to emphasize is that I self-custodied, so I'll be getting some FLR tomorrow on a couple wallets I self-custody, but I actually also used Binance US, Uphold, and a few other exchanges. So for me, I'm going to get the majority of my FLR tokens when a lot of these exchanges finally come around, if they do. And I hope they don't take months. So that's why I'm entertaining the possibility with the amounts that I self-custodied, and to be honest, it is not, life-changing amounts of FLR, regardless of the price. So that's why I'm entertaining. Am I better off just selling it, trying to buy back lower and accumulate more FLR? Should I just put that liquidity elsewhere? Or should I just wrap it and delegate all of my self-custody holdings to get bigger FLR distributions in the future? I'm curious about the APY. I understand that could be valuable long term, plus the token price going up multiple X%. But in this market, I'd also expect a lot of things to dump and a lot of people to be frustrated and potentially just sell their holdings. So time will tell. Regardless, I'm rooting for FLR. I'm rooting for anybody that is in this market. I know it has been absolutely brutal, but what I do believe, no matter what you're going through, is that there is huge opportunity in the future. Don't lose sight of the horizon, keep pushing, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate hitting the like button and subscribing. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, my link tree is linked right in the top of this YouTube video description with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.